Welcome to Ion Radio, 100% South African music that you want to know.
Skanking to the bells of Notre Dame, skanking to the bells of Notre Dame, skanking to the bells of Notre Dame, swinging from the bars of Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub, Mephisto. Skanking to the bells of Notre Dame, skanking to the bells of Notre Dame, skanking to the bells of Notre Dame. Quasimodo was a freak, and who was kamikaze? Stupid. You never sleep. Climbing the mountains of Dar es Salaam, playing in the fields of Babylon. Wicked horse from Taiwan, and we go skanking to the bells of Notre Dame, skanking to the bells of Notre Dame, skanking to the bells of Notre Dame, skanking to the bells of Notre Dame.
I was 420 mil at a 340 mil at 420 right there on Ion Radio. Welcome to our first episode. Ion Radio is about bringing you 100% South African music, the music that you want to know. Joining me in studio today, I've got Maurice Turk from the band Jester and the Sick Boys.
What's goody?
How you doing, Maurice?
I'm pretty sweet. How you, dude?
I'm very great. Maurice has played in a band called Jester and the Sick Boys for how many years now?
Well, we played, I guess, initially for probably about 4 years, and it's been sort of a 2-year hiatus now from live shows, but we have been jamming, keeping in contact.
And you can still catch their music online, is that correct? On Bandcamp, you can find their music?
Yes, sir. Free download on Bandcamp. Just it's on SoundCloud as well. We have a Facebook page with links to what we're up to there. And yeah, I should get active again at some point in the hopefully near future.
Good job, good job. Maurice is up here from Cape Town playing shows in Joburg. You can check him out at poetry nights around Johannesburg. More on that just now.
Yep. This
is a song called Wondering from the Jester and the Sick Boys EP,
yes,
Dismantle
sir.
Piece.
Enjoy.
Calm as a lighthouse in the storm, I cannot be moved. Thick as the night sky wrapped around my eyes, I'm loving you. Now and then I'll start to wonder. Now and then I can't help wondering why we here. These days are numbered. Why we here. These days are pleasuring you. Rising above these wholesome memories, I'm ready to die. When you turn around to look for me, I won't be here. Recognize, realize, if pain is your addiction, you gotta hold on tight. Now and then there is somewhere to shine before the cover of night returns to swallow your life. Lay your head down to rest and let me kiss your dreams. When the moon falls still above your head, I will be there. Recognize, realize, if pain is your addiction, you gotta hold on tight. Now and then there is somewhere to shine before the
Was Wondering by Jester and the Sick Boys. Joining us again in the studio is Maurice Turk. Maurice, what can you tell us about that song, Dismantle and Dismantle Piece, the EP?
Oh, well, like most of our songs, that sort of just came out of a jam. And yeah, we were originally a two-piece, and my housemate, who's actually a guitarist, heard us jam, asked me to write some lyrics for him, and came in with the drum kit, and that was the first song we wrote with him, actually. And it's also the only song of ours that has a video on YouTube, so check that out if you got some time.
You'll find links to the YouTube on our website and our Facebook pages. Maurice, can you tell us a little bit more about what gigging in Cape Town is like? I mean, what is the music scene in Cape Town like at the moment?
This is a touchy subject, but I will make my opinion known. Fuck it. Shit, dude, I don't know. Cape Town was cool to move to 8 years ago, and I moved in. The band started about 3 years after that, 2 years after that. And it was exciting, dude. Every venue to get to and watch bands play and try and get involved in shit. But Cape Town is a really tight butthole when it comes to that. I mean, it's really tough to actually like organize an event unless you're doing it yourself, and unless you know someone, or unless you're friends with someone, or unless someone thinks they can market you in a very poppy, you know, socially friendly way. There's very little underground that's actually going on.
And in your perspective, is that any different to the Joburg music scene?
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I mean, Joburg's got way more support for the underground, I feel. I guess that has a lot to do with size, so you don't have to see all the pretentious fucks all the time. You don't see each other all the time. You drive 40 minutes to get somewhere, and everyone else who drove 40 minutes to get somewhere really wants to be there. So
I mean, we do have to drive hell of a fucking far in Johannesburg. Ladies and gentlemen, you rock and rollers, Maurice has chosen a song by one of his favorite South African artists. It's You Sound... Which is it? It's a Hazel Joint by Max Normal.
Yeah, dude. Fuck
Hells yeah. Max Normal, ladies and gentlemen, for any of you who don't know, was the man before Deon Foot, and this is one of...
Is the only man.
He's the only man. What can Tudor Jones? And this is also probably my favorite song by Max Normal. Happy 420 again, you motherfuckers.
Yo. Boom. Yo, check it out, yo. At the end of the week, me and Pete pulled round to Sean's spot to check out some beats. Sean blessed us with the herbal treat. A little later on, we needed something to eat, so we took to the streets on our mountain bikes, cause we live like that. Plus my jammy had a puncture and the spare was flat. I brought the hacky sack, Sean brought some superb South African homegrown herb. Rolling through the burbs, feeling the opposite of shitty. Joburg is such a pretty city. Leaves falling from the trees, going crunch under my wheels. About to sit down to a nice healthy meal, yeah. Hazel's exquisite, vegetarian cuisine. I'm talking about Hazel's exquisite, vegetarian cuisine, yeah. Hazel's exquisite, vegetarian cuisine. I'm talking about Hazel's exquisite, vegetarian cuisine. We were chilling at Hazel's spot when along came Bianca, Tali, Elle, and Yana. So I was like, you guys wanna get some takeaway cake and head down to the park and maybe play some hacky sack before it gets dark? Everybody was cool with that, so I got the bill. Then we bounced and found a nice sunny spot to chill. Sean racked up a fatty and was about to spark it when a white van pulled up into the park. Shit, I didn't know cars weren't allowed in here, said Tali as the vehicle drew near. Unfortunately, our reactions were a bit delayed, cause by the time we saw there were cops, it was a bit too late. It's like, uh-oh, we're in trouble. It just takes one prick to burst your bubble. But like, there were 4 of them, all giving us the evil eye. And one of the cops was like, better destroy all of that. Sean was like, what? Because within there, like, totally fucked up their blood. And you know the deal, they searched us, found Sean's stash. So we had to part with some cash, and I gave us some shit back and went on the way. And we were like, thank you very much, have a nice day. Then we did our thing, played some hacky sack, broke out the cake, you know, that was that, yeah. Hazel's exquisite, vegetarian cuisine. I'm talking about Hazel's exquisite, vegetarian cuisine, yeah. Hazel's exquisite, vegetarian cuisine. I'm talking about Hazel's exquisite, vegetarian cuisine. The part 2, you can feel the funk in the air, cause I'm pumping up like I just don't care. The original kick on the mic, so everything's gonna be alright. Do what you fucking like, you know what I'm saying? So ill, just to test my skill, I'm gonna stand in the middle of a wash pit and chill.
Man, that was cool. I mean, it almost gets a little Rage Against the Machine there at the end, you know? That's fucking rad.
Hell yeah, dude, and lyrics that, like, actually, I mean, like, make something
I
you
mean,
feel, which...
I can get down with going to the park after dark, playing some hacky sack, and then the cops fucking rock up. Jesus, driving around Johannesburg, I tell you, the one thing that freaks me out is the fucking police. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, like we said, we're here to talk with Maurice Turk from Jester and the Sick Boys. He's up from Cape Town. Recently, he's been up here for a little while. Tell us about, you've been performing some poetry shows. Can you tell us something about those?
Oh, yeah, well, actually, it was you, Michael, who invited me to the first one I got involved in, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, it was at where was that?
Scoobs. Monte Casino Scoobs.
Scooby-Doo, baby. Monte Casino. It was pretty cool vibe. You know, just come there and share. People make music. People hang out. People clap. So I guess if you got some of that arty wang in you, that I guess a lot of you will be listening to the show. Do go and check it out.
Definitely.
And isn't there one coming up?
Yeah, there's one coming up on Sunday. You can go check that out in Monte Casino at Scoobs. They also happen once a month in Melville at Cafe Mexico. So you can go check those out. They're free events, ladies and gentlemen. And it is a place that reminds me almost of the Dead Poets Society, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
It's totally that.
Aesthetic for sure.
It's definitely that, man. It's a cool place for cool people to go and just share a side of themselves that you wouldn't usually see at a party. But don't get me wrong, it's a total party. Speaking of parties, when I was in Cape Town, I was recently, well, not that recent anymore. In November, there was an event called Endless Daze. And that's something I wanted to talk to you about. I mean, how do you feel about it? What can you tell us about Endless Daze and Psych Night and what they've done in Cape Town?
Well, I mean, they've definitely started a really good business for themselves, and I never take away from that. But, you know, and when did it start? Probably like 4 years ago, I think I went to the first event and took some photos. It was in Albies, that ball pit was there. It was cool, dude, you know. It's a cool little vibe, but in my personal opinion, I haven't really seen something that I haven't seen before, or I haven't really been gripped out of my skull by it.
Fair enough, eh? What for me was the best thing about Psych Night, I have much respect to the company and how much I love them, but the funniest thing that I recognized about a Cape Town psychedelic rock music festival was a surf band, actually, a surf rock band, and probably the best surf rock band arguably in the world comes from Johannesburg. And in case anyone doesn't know, Johannesburg has no surf. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a song called Backwash by the Moths. Man, I fucking love that song, and I fucking love that band, the Moths, ladies and gentlemen. They're Johannesburg surf rock band, and that was from their EP To Hell With The Moths.
Surfing
or To
Jersey
Hell
streets,
With.
boy.
The next song that I'd like to actually play was my favorite tune from the Endless Daze Festival, which happened in Cape Town in November, organized by Psych Night, was by an artist named Roxy Caroline. Maurice, you know Roxy. She played in which band again?
I believe it's Changeling, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think, and Heroine, actually.
Oh, Heroine, yeah, sorry.
Exactly.
Sorry. But
and
she
I mean,
isn't... No, it's Ruby Angelica.
yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. Changeling, another band that you're definitely guaranteed to hear on radio.
Yeah, they are super awesome.
They really are a great band.
Heroine, they are super, super cool.
Heroine is an amazing band, and you can download a lot of their music for free on SoundCloud. We'll have links in our descriptions.
Very cool atmosphere at their shows as well, too. Very, into-it musicians that are on form and create this dreamy atmosphere for you to follow along to. So
it really is. And speaking of that dreamy atmosphere, this is Roxy Caroline from the band Heroine in Cape Town, playing a one-time only performance of a beautiful song about sexual experience. The song's called Uneducated Hands. fucking trippy song. I hope you guys are all still enjoying the 420 when we started. That was Roxy Caroline playing Uneducated
You better have
Hands.
prepped a couple blades there, boy.
Yeah, for that song at least.
For the duration of the show. But if I can jump, I wanted to say, so we just discussed Endless Days, and I don't want to come across like too much of a critic. I obviously do enjoy going there with friends, having a good time, being part of the event. I'm just saying, maybe it's just me, but I'm looking for a little something more, some X factor out of the
What
South
I have
African
to
music
say
scene.
about Endless Days actually was a very interesting thing for me, was to notice how Endless Days was almost a boutique festival. It was one stage with all kinds of artisanal food stalls. There was great merchandise on play, and the music selection, the bands that played. I mean, guys, it was pretty much there was one international act. Otherwise, it was all South African artists. But of
they
such.
played before. He played here before, hadn't they?
Yeah, the band Froth, and I mean they really are they're phenomenal. But I mean BCUC, a Joburg band, absolutely kicked their asses on stage. It was fucking incredible, and the music was so well organized. It was so well curated. The festival was boutique in that way.
I think what you're saying actually extends to most of the Cape Town music scene, and I think that very specific boutique has a lot to do with a cliquey sort of, or I guess a bunch of people that came together and worked together with the same scene, wanting common interests, which can
Exactly.
be sort
Yeah,
of,
I mean you can call
in
it
my
a clique,
opinion,
or
mediocre.
you can just call it. You can call it a clique, or you can call it a subculture. And I think really at the head of this subculture is a
subculture.
band called Medicine Boy. Now this is a couple, two lovers who actually went ahead and they organized and curated the entire Psych Night festival. And this is a track by their band Medicine Boy. It's called You're an Animal Now.
Rubble through which I rode to get safe.
Like I said, that's You're an Animal Now by Medicine Boy, the organizers of Psych Night Festival in Cape Town. Right up next is my favorite band from Psych Night Festival in Cape Town. They're called The Valley, and the song is called Siren. listening to Ion Radio, 100% South African music you want to know.
All day, day, baby. Actually, only for this hour, but you get the gist.
This next song is called High School by the Runaway Nuns. More on them now. So that was our last song from the Cape Town band scene, and they were called the Runaway Nuns. And the reason why I wanted to play that song, High School by the Runaway Nuns, is because recently they came up to Johannesburg and played with the Makeovers. The Makeovers being one of my favorite bands.
Hell yeah, dude.
They really are.
That is an energetic, like, poetic, brilliant, feeling band, dude.
An amazing two-piece. Also a boyfriend and a girlfriend, just like Medicine Boy. And they really do bring an energy to the stage that can honestly be compared to something like Death from Above 1979 or The White Stripes.
And they are just pumping out material 24/7.
They've got 10 albums up for download on Bandcamp, ladies and gentlemen. You can go out there and find their music on Bandcamp, but their music is also available on SoundCloud to listen to for free. Speaking of the Makeovers, the reason why, like I said, I went to this show with the Runaway Nuns. I think I might have said a Muse Cafe. What I meant was the Buck and Hogg. And it's a show. It's
totally similar.
So. It's a venue. Yeah, Buck and Hogg, a Muse Cafe, tomato. You know. But really, the Buck and Hogg is what a cool venue for a show. It's actually just a little bar in Linden, and it is really a very friendly place. They got great prices on their beer. And fundamentally, they host really great shows. More than once a month, you can be guaranteed to see some of the coolest bands playing at the Bloc and Hogg. And that Bloc and Hogg show was just part of the Makeovers tour. Now, the Makeovers tour, like I said, took place at the Bloc and Hogg just the other day. It went then from there to a Muse Cafe. It's moving to the New Moon Pub in Pretoria. If you're in Kimberley on the 17th, you can go to the Australian, Arnclass and Stellenbosch. We've got Sun Travolta in Cape Town. We've got Raw. We've got Lefties in Cape Town. They go off to Volma in PE, the Slipstream Sports Bar in Grahamstown, ending all the way back up here in Johannesburg in Kitcheners and Arcade Empire Pretoria, and then that 70s Fest, which is happening in Kempton Park. So ladies and gentlemen, if you do want to go see the Makeovers anywhere in South Africa, you should definitely get over to see and check them out. Right now we're going to play to you a song by the Makeovers called Skeletons. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Skeletons by the Makeovers. Really no way to describe the amount of energy that band puts out on stage. It is truly something impressive to watch, truly something that I would recommend for everyone.
They are a whirlwind of noise, dude. Like, it's almost across those different albums and shit, you know, like there's a whole world of different influences and different versions of themselves. It's
the
super
truth.
cool, dude.
Speaking of different versions of things, when I was in Cape Town, you know, like what I really loved about Cape Town was the eclecticness of the venues that bands would play at. You could go to all kinds of places. One of my favorite spots, which unfortunately is closed now, was Tagor's, which was this tiny little hole in the wall in
It's not
Args.
closed anymore.
Is it not closed? Is it back open again?
Oh no, Tagor's is closed.
Tagor's is closed, but the venue
being
is still
used,
there.
yeah.
That's beautiful to know. And so, that's what I really loved about Cape Town, was the way that the different venues were. And what I got to experience now in Johannesburg, actually following this makeovers tour, was seeing them play at the Extreme Bowling Alley in Corlett Drive.
Yeah.
Guys, that
That's a
was
cool
so
venue,
cool.
dude.
It was such a cool venue. We got to go bowling while listening to the makeovers in the background, and another band called the Myths, who came up from Durban, and a little bit more about them after we play this next song called The Zang. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Myths from Durban.
Standing underneath the sun, I'm going on you, left behind on the run. I will always stay the same, but now she's gone. I'm so frozen, all you said has come and gone. Now I'm not the one. Black skin and pale on face, intermission. Keep light to fill the space, indecision. Breathing has lost its pace, and it's feeling. Staring at the sky, it's just my ceiling.
And welcome back, you fucking jawlers. It's good to have you here on the Ion Radio Show. My name is Michael Marshall. I'm your host. And in studio with me today is Maurice Turk. And that band you were just listening to is The Myths from Durban, playing their track, The Zang. You can download that for free on Bandcamp and SoundCloud. Recently at the Institute of Noize, we had the Myths actually come up to our studio, the martial arts studio, and we actually had them record something that we call the Noize Stories. A little bit about the Noize Stories, guys, is we basically get bands into the martial arts studio and they do a live performance. The Myths came up from Durban while they were on this tour, playing at the Extreme Bowling Alley that I mentioned earlier, and they filmed one of these Noize Stories for us, and you'll be able to check that out in 2 weeks' time when we hopefully have an interview with the Myths. Most recently, and what you can go check out, is Black Math. This is now, I would have to say, my favorite South African band. I know Maurice doesn't always agree with that opinion, but I know that Black Math is my favorite South African band, and we've got something really special for you here right now. This is a song called Birth, Create, Dissipate, and it was recorded for the first time at the Martial Arts Studios during a Noize Story for the Institute of Noize. Check this out. It's Birth, Create, Dissipate by Black Math.
Be born and then create itself and then die, and it's an endless cycle until the universe finally implodes on itself, I guess.
Why
That was Birth, Create, Dissipate, performed live by Black Math exclusively for the Institute of Noize, and you can find links to that live performance on YouTube and our website and our Facebook page, of course. So the next part I'd like to talk about, something that we're always going to talk about here on the Institute of Noize Radio, or Ion Radio, is what's happening tonight and this weekend. It's Thursday and we are getting over the 4 o'clock mark. We now over the 5 o'clock mark, excuse me. And I'd like to talk about what's happening tonight. So tonight, if you're heading down to Kitchener's, you're going to check out Nothing Major. And when I say Nothing Major, I mean it's something to make a fuss about. The event is called Nothing Major, ladies and gentlemen. It's organized by an events company called The Fuss. They also have an online magazine that I would dare you to go and check out. The bands playing tonight are bands like Boxer and Tasers. And we're going to have DJs like Tozi the Creator, Don Trilby and Plat Yappy. You're going to be hearing a little bit more from Boxer and the Tasers a little bit later in our solid 30-minute music playlist. Tomorrow night you can check out Saifest. It's happening at the Good Luck Bar. Those of you who've never been to the Good Luck Bar, it's on number 1 Fox Street, and that's in Johannesburg. It is a great venue, and playlisted at Saifest is Martin Rocker and the Six Shop, the Southern Gypsy Queen, Hull Cats, Naming James, and Tinnitus, and a Rage Against the Machine tribute act. Tinnitus, ladies and gentlemen, I'd have you know, is also the band that plays with the Blue Man Group. They are truly incredible. I saw them play at a free show, Rumors Lounge, about 2 weeks ago, and they are truly an act to be reckoned with. Tonight, you can also go check out the first round of the Battle of the Bands. The Jagermeister presents Making the Muso 2017 Battle of the Bands. There are 16 bands taking place in this Battle of the Bands, and although I do not believe that bands are like horses and competitions are for horses and not bands, you can go check out some pretty great musical acts, including The Valley, who we played earlier on. Also this weekend, if you're into a little bit of psytrance, drum and bass, ooh, sorry guys, ooh, a little bit of psytrance, drum and bass, or techno, you can go out to the Hornbill Lodge, which, in case you've never been there before, is a fantastic venue. It's a great place to go camping. They've got a beautiful river you can swim in and a cliff you can jump off of. The event happens twice a year, and this is the Twilight Open Air Festival, featuring more than 30 DJs, featuring 2 underground acts. It's an all-weekend event. If you do not feel like spending all weekend, but you do feel like driving out that sort of side, on the 1st of April is the Corona Sunsets Festival. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really excited to be going to this, and the bands that are playing are just too cool to be true. My favorite of which that I'm excited most to see is definitely the Kiffness. We're going to play you a Kiffness song in just a minute. The next event you can go to, which is 120 Rand online or 150 Rand at the door, is Park Acoustics. That's featuring Jack Parrow, the Satanic Dagga Orgy, who you'll hear in a little minute, Brett Newski, the Shabs, Jaco van der Merwe, and Holly. That's Park Acoustics, ladies and gentlemen. It is a friendly event. It's fun for everyone, and I would definitely recommend you go. Taking us into the last part of our show, which is just going to be a whole bunch of straight music, wreck and roll, because ultimately at the Institute of Noize, or at Ion Radio, we believe that music and radio is about discovery, and we're here to bring you 100% South African music that you want to know. Coming up right now is Satanic Dagga Orgy, who will be playing at Park Acoustics.
Grab a blunt, grab a line, grab a girl. Grab a chance to be the worst thing in the world. Tonight we're gonna sell our souls, we're gonna revel in sin, we're gonna shout aloud. Satanic Dagga Orgy.
You're listening to the Ion Radio, and this is You Sound Dumb by the Constructus Corporation.
Thank you for your that stupidness. You like my fertilizer. I got you all listening carefully, trying to work out my fantastically drastic tactics as I bring it, slinging my slang all deliciously vicious from inside this beautiful electromagnetic storm. Buckle up, kids. I'm just getting warm. Authentic reaction, cause I rap about stuff that actually happens instead of sucking shit out my thumb like most of these cats. I'm disorientated on the mic like I'm not locked inside a reality where situations keep fucking up the bum. These indigenous MCs know exactly what I mean. Come on. How long has it been? Just break out the Vaseline, make sure the dash is clean, we can get busy. I don't even need to hear you rap, I can tell you crap or your stupid mannerisms. You the type of bitch that I used to fuck in prison. What? Sorry, was it like something I said? It's so very easy to fuck with your head, and I promise I'd rather be saying something nice instead. Plus I really want to terminate this topic cause I'm getting very tired of it. I'm gonna say this one last time. Listen up all you little men, cause I actually don't feel like having to speak about this stupid shit again. Stop talking in those funny American accents. You sound dumb.
Boys and girls, thank you very much for tuning in to Ion Radio. My name's Michael Marshall, and thank you very much for joining me in the studio today, Maurice Turk.
Thanks for having me, dude. It was great.
Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Michael Marshall here from Ion Radio, bringing you 100% South African music that you want to know. And in that topic, I'm going to play you a little 50-second excerpt from a 70s psychedelic band that Maurice gave me the pleasure of finding. It's called Batsumi, ladies and gentlemen, and this is an excerpt from the song Toy Toy, 1970s psychedelic South African rock.
Yeah, boy.
Maurice just wants to say one last word on Cape Town, just to put it out there. The Institute of Noize, we're interested in the music scene across the country, and we appreciate everything from Durban to PE to Port Alfred to Cape Town to Bloemfontein to Potchefstroom to Johannesburg, Kimberley, baby, you name it. We've been there, we're covering it, and we're going to bring you live music, information from all over South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Institute of Noize.
Peace.
Peace.